First off, it's Charles J. That just in case you ain't heard of me, they told me it was too late. But I promise that I'll be the first to speak. Most of these rappers, they fake. But you can't have your way, this ain't Burger King. Everybody said it won't be till they see smoke, then they realize they'd rather have turkey meat.
What it do, what it do. It's 903 Boxing. I'm your host, Charles J. Say, man, yeah, I had to do a part two. To be honest with you, man, when I was doing part one, I was going. I had a technical difficulty, so I want to finish saying what the fuck I was saying. So I left off where I was saying maybe I was wrong. You know, sometimes I question myself too much. Because I wanna do right. I actually want to do right by people. I want to do right, bro. But I don't mind being wrong sometimes, especially when I feel like I'm right about what I'm saying. I said that. Yeah, was I too hard on him? I said when I seen him cry, I felt bad for about 20 seconds. But it dawned on me, it hit me because it's a bigger story to it, bro. It's not just you crying. It's a lot of other shit, bro. When I think about that Tony Harrison fight, the second fight, bro, because I said to myself, I started questioning shit when he cried. And I damn near I told you I feel bad for 20 seconds. And in them 20 seconds, I said to myself, well, maybe Canelo, maybe it was the power that, maybe he just felt like he couldn't get off because he couldn't deal with the power. No. I said, okay, I can't give you that excuse, bro. I can't give you no excuse. There's no excuse in the book that I could sign off. You guilty. You guilty as charged, and nah, bro. Because in that second Tony Harrison fight, I'm going to tell you something. Jamel got a poker face because Tony Harrison definitely hurt him. And he was hitting him to the body a lot. And he was hitting him with some hard shots to the body. Tony Harrison was hurting, and he was walking down Jamel Charlo in that second fight. It was a point when Jamel said, you know what, fuck it. Kind of like Tank did with Barrios. You just started walking through him. You started walking through him, and you started trading left hooks, and that's when you hurt him. Just like you did with Castano. You started trading left hooks. Never did it with Canelo, bro. You never said fuck it. You never said fuck it, bro. You was content with losing. It wasn't the power. It wasn't none of that, bro. I think when you came out and you seen all them Mexicans and you seen Canelo come out with them Mexican rappers and all that shit with that gold on and shit, like he was a king, I think you saw him as a king. I think you saw him as an emperor or some shit. And I just think that black fighters have so much respect for Canelo and his fan base, which is the most. Bro, Canelo fans are so fake. Canelo fans, where was they when he lost to Bivol? Where was they when he fought Triple G for the third time? Where was they when he fought John Ryder? Where was they at, bro? We know they're going to come out for the black fighter, bro. We know Mexican fans going to show up for that shit. It ain't even just Canelo fans. Mexican fans going to show up for that shit. You know? Just like they showed up for Mikey when he fought Earl. But when Earl beat him, he got no credit. Well, nobody talking about the greatness of Earl. They act like he was just supposed to do that shit. Anyway, so it's a lot of variables that make me say, nah, bro, I could never feel bad for you. You folded. It ain't no way around it. I can't. It's nothing in between. You folded, and you was content with folding, and you know you folded. You know you folded. And you know who really know you folded? Derrick James. Because when it boiled down to it, that's who I feel. If I was going to feel bad for somebody, I'd feel bad. I ain't going to say I feel bad. But I understand the frustration of Derrick James. I've criticized him. I've said he shouldn't have brought Ryan in the stable. Shouldn't have brought Joshua. Should have focused more on Earl. Definitely should have had a better game plan. I said all that, bro, but Derrick James looked disgusting in Jamel. And when he was in that locker room and he tried to shout out Derrick James and hug him, Derrick James just had his head down. Derrick James is very disappointed. Highly disappointed. Because he know, just like everybody else know, bro, You was content with losing, bro. You survived. You fought a survival fight. First time in your career you ever fought to survive. And it just, when I think about it, you know, when you look at our gangs, they the same way. Bloods and Crips have yet to call a peace treaty, and this shit been going on since the 70s. You motherfuckers still are considered sworn enemies. The Bloods' only sworn enemy is the Crips. The Crips' only sworn enemy is the Bloods. The GD's only sworn enemy is the Vice Lords, and they even beef with BDs sometimes. But what I'm saying is, for every black gang, there's a black enemy that will never stop being the enemy. You know, I just noticed that shit. And the same way I feel about Jamel when he fought Tony Harris, he will always be an enemy. So he fought him that way. You know what I'm saying? He didn't gain no respect for Tony Harrison after the first fight, after losing. He didn't respect Tony for that shit. He never gave Tony credit when he lost. Okay, it's just like with the Mexican gang. It ain't no black gang that they sworn enemy is a Mexican gang. Mexican gangs are not our sworn enemy. And when we go to war with them, after that, it's cool. It's cool, but it ain't never cool when the Bloods and the Crips war. We will always be enemies. Why ain't the Mexican gangs always our enemy? We done had plenty of wars with them. Why is there no other sworn enemy for a black gang? Ain't nobody else our sworn enemy. So that's the mentality that I think many black fighters have and many black men have. When a black man fuck over you, you'll never forgive him. White boy fuck over you every day, and you find one white boy that listen to Fat Pat and DJ Screw and smoke weed and got tapers and shit, and you'll be a better friend to him because you don't see him as your enemy. That's different. But I'm just saying, I just feel like Jamel Charlo, when it come down to it, he was content. He was content with losing to Canelo. He was content with that shit. If he had lost to Terrence Crawford, and which leads me to say, I don't think he ever wanted to fight Terrence Crawford. He didn't want to lose to him, bro. He don't mind losing to him now because he already lost to Canelo. So, nah, I can never feel bad for you pimping. You know, this younger generation is fucked up. But I gotta be honest, bro. I speak a lot about these young. These old motherfuckers is worse. You old motherfuckers is worse than the younger generation because y'all create and y'all have created this fake ass culture. And when I talk created this fake ass culture, I'm talking about Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd is one of my favorite fighters, top 5 for sure favorite fighter of all time. Yeah, I done watched all his fights at least 3 times, at least. But very huge fan of Floyd. I'm gonna tell you something. Floyd is the monkey of boxing. That motherfucker is the monkey of boxing. Let me explain some shit about Floyd. And I try not to do it because Mexicans hate on him so much and white media hate him, so I try to stay on code with that shit. But since I'm talking to black folks, Floyd a monkey. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what he do. Floyd is the same fighter that said, Devin Haney, you should have sent Shakur a more fair offer. That 25%, because the promotions they do us like this and this and that, and that's how the white man do us this way. We ought to be better to each other. Remember that shit? Okay. I remember that. Just like Leonard Ellaby said, Terrence Crawford should give Jerome Booth Ennis a chance. But you motherfucker, neither Floyd nor Leonard Ellaby will never bring any light to Devin Haney or Shakur's name. But he'll talk about Teofimo Lopez. He'll talk about Ryan. He'll talk about Isaac Cruz. Floyd Mayweather refuses to talk about Tank versus Shakur or Tank versus Devin. So why you talking about, but when Devin and Shakur got some shit going, you can talk about and critique what the fuck they should do? Nah, bro. And don't you gotta fight on the same day as Devin Haney? Let me tell you something. Floyd always was mad that Devin Haney didn't sign to him. And you know what? I admire that about Devin. And Big Bill saw some shit. Nah, bro. We ain't finna sign to Floyd. We're not finna do it. And I think that shit always bothered Floyd. Because Floyd wanted to sign Devin Haney, and that's a fact. And his father really fucked with Devin Haney. But Floyd the monkey of the show. And you want me to go back in time and show you some shit? Floyd started all this shit. I'm gonna be real. Floyd is to blame for this shit. And you know what really told it all? Doing this all access shit, when Canelo won, Leonard Ellerby, I'm not gonna roast him today, but Leonard Ellerby and Floyd reached out and they damn near jumped in the ring to congratulate Floyd. To congratulate Canelo. Floyd shook and hugged Canelo. Leonard Ellerby hugged him and, you the great, you great, you this and that. Let me tell you something. Floyd is the reason why Canelo is who he is. Floyd is the reason. We forgot that shit. Canelo would be a no-name fighter if he hadn't fought Floyd. We would have never heard of Canelo. He probably wouldn't be fighting over here. We would have never heard of Canelo if he hadn't fought Floyd. He would have just been a regular fighter. He wouldn't have been bigger than Danny Garcia if Floyd hadn't fought him. And even through losing 12 rounds. You remember what Floyd said after that fight? After beating him 12 rounds, instead of saying, this dude ain't nowhere near on my level. This the dude y'all hyped up? No, he said Canelo is the next star. He's the next great fighter. After I retire, he's going to take over boxing. This is what Floyd passed the torch to Canelo. Keith Thurman was calling him out. He could have fought Earl Spence. He could have fought Sean Porter. He could have fought... it's several black fighters that was trying to fight him. Floyd would not give no black fighter an opportunity, bro. No black fighter an opportunity. So, what I'm saying is, out of all the black fighters that was calling him out, he fought Canelo. Told him, if you beat Austin Trout, I'll fight you. Both Charlos beat Austin Trout. So, when I look at this shit, bro, Floyd done that shit. The only black fighter he's put on is Tank. Floyd believe in the white boy law. Only keep one black star at a time. Richardson Hitchens, you did nothing for him. Did he ever even sign Lorenzo Trucks and some shit like that? Floyd has done nothing with no fighters. And now Tank finna do the same thing. So Floyd is one of the OGs that has started this fake ass trend. Keep one black star at a time and don't give no other black fighter a chance. Because your ass should have fought Paul Williams. Yeah, you thought I wasn't gonna... You should have fought Paul Williams, bro. You should have fought Keith Thurman, bro. You should have fought Keith. Boy, and Keith was a dog then. Keith was a dog at that time. Sean Porter would have been a hell of a fight. You gave no black fighter a chance. You have never passed the torch to a black fighter. So Floyd, bro, you are the monkey of boxing. You still, at 50 years old, you still showing off jewelry, bro. You still impressed by some shit that you've had for over 30 years. So, Floyd started this shit with Canelo. And was there to congratulate him. He wasn't there to cheer for Jamel. He was there for Canelo. The fighter you made a superstar. You know what's so sad about Floyd? Mexican fans have booed you your entire career because you went on a Mexican journey too. They booed you your entire career, but you go out and make a Mexican a star. Sad, bro. It just did. One thing I noticed about older black men, I've noticed it on jobs. Older black men only police younger black men. That's it. On these jobs, they do not police that young Mexican boy. They don't police that young white boy. They don't fuck with them. And there's no envy. I always noticed that. An older black man ain't jealous of a young Mexican. He ain't jealous of a younger white boy. He jealous of that younger black man. Older black men are only jealous of younger black men. That's why they trick and do all this shit, try to take the young women from the young older black men. And I'm not saying it's some real big homies out here, but for the most part, older black men have become more of a detriment to black men as a whole than young black men. Because young black men don't have no guidance. Old motherfuckers, you motherfuckers should have learned years ago about America and this country and what we up against and should have had some backbone. A lot of you motherfuckers have been defeated over the years. It's kind of like with Nelson Mandela. You know, he got sentenced to life, and he did 26 years. The first 15 to 20 years, he was a revolutionary. You know, Nelson Mandela, he was going from country to country. He was a lawyer at first, but when he seen the oppression in South Africa, he started going from country to country, building a motherfucking army and finna fight the white boy. Big bombs, all that shit, buying ammunition. He was going from country to country, collecting black folks together to fight the white boy, and they caught him. So he get life. And some other brothers that was in on the shit, they got a bunch of time too. But, and you know, when I first read the book, I was 21, and at that time it was the beginning of my journey just into learning where we come from and who I am. So that was one of the first books I read. It's called Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. And when I read that book, I said, Nelson Mandela was a revolution. He won. He the only man to beat the white boy. He became the president. I thought he beat the white. No. Nah, bro. Let me tell you what he did. Nelson Mandela, he was about 60 something when he got out. But anyway, his first 15 years, he was protesting. He was fighting the guards. He was protesting better conditions, better rights for prisoners. He was the revolutionary of prisons. Oh, but as them years passed by, and Betty X used to have to take 2 or 3 different flights. I mean, not Betty. Winnie Mandela, one of the most loyal women of all time. She used to take 2 or 3 different flights because they had them way the fuck out. 2 or 3 different flights just to come see him. And sometimes she would catch 2 or 3 different flights and they would tell her, you can't see him. So she would have to catch them flights back. She held them down for 26 years. The white boy came and seen Nelson Mandela somewhere around his 24th, 25th year, because at that time it was a new generation of black folks in South Africa, and they was killing white folks. You had young black men that was killing white folks, killing the laws, and you know, I think after this generation, I think we gonna get a generation like that. Nah, cause ain't none of these blacks today want to kill the laws or kill white folks. But what I'm saying is, the generation after these gang motherfuckers, them motherfuckers gonna be so violent. They just gonna be some killers. I'm telling you, we gonna get a generation like them South Africans. They was just killing white folks, telling them to get the fuck out of my country. And so it was just, they couldn't control them. And you had so many young black radical, just revolutionary groups that just was willing to go out on their shield, willing to go to war to fight for their freedom, and the way they was treated in South Africa. So they came to Nelson Mandela with a deal. Listen, we'll make you the president if you can. Basically, because in his book he tried to sweeten that shit up, like he was gonna be a help to his people. What the white boy told him is, get out, we'll let you out of prison. We'll even let some of your fellow brothers that got locked up with you, we'll let you out of prison, brother. But we need you to calm down these black, because they look up to you. You considered the revolutionary of South Africa. So all these young dudes that's killing white, they look up to you. So if you come out and say, don't be harmful to white folks, and let's just get along and go along with white folks, and just don't upset the white boy, they'll listen to you. That's exactly what he done. But let me tell you this, and he even mentioned this in his book. When he told black folks to calm down and to not fight back, white folks started bombing them. They started dying even more. White folks started killing them 10 times more than what they was already killing them. They started killing black people off. It was more deaths among South African blacks due to the hands of white folks when Nelson Mandela got out of prison than it was when he was in prison. So black people started looking at Nelson Mandela like, you told us to stop fighting, but we still getting shot the fuck up. Another thing that lets me know that Nelson Mandela was a motherfucker that got old and weak, and just wanted to be free and enjoy his last days on in freedom or some shit. When Winnie Mandela left Nelson Mandela, she left him. See, I always thought that. I used to think, because at the time I was reading the book, like I said, I was only like 19, 20, and I was just now learning certain shit. I was like, man, Winnie left Nelson. No, bro. She seen that Bro, you joined white folks. You became the president and you started shaking hands with white folks and helping keep black men down. You became a traitor. You went from a revolutionary to a traitor. Winnie Mandela left him and started fighting on her own and getting together with other women. Winnie Mandela never stopped being a revolutionary. So when you think of Nelson gets all the praise, Winnie Mandela was the soldier. Winnie Mandela, she was the revolutionary that never stopped fighting. Even in her 70s, she never stopped fighting. Nelson Mandela took that deal, became president, and it looked heroic. Nelson Mandela is no different from a Barack Obama. Because we started killing each other more after Barack got in office. He never spoke against black on black violence or police violence toward it. So gun laws became more, states started passing gun laws to where everybody can have guns now and shit like that. So we become way worse after Obama. We was better before him, in my opinion. So it's just that it's a systematic thing where a lot of older black men, they are the gatekeepers of black life. Anywhere we want to go, it's gonna be an older black man. You know, you to get into hip hop, bro, you gonna have to go through Diddy. You gonna have to go through some of these older black men, and they gonna fuck over you, bro. And they only gonna pick certain ones. One thing about this black life and this, that's why I don't care about fame or success. Like, I don't care. I've never worshipped money. Because one thing I know, bro, that shit'll never bring you happiness. That shit'll never really bring you peace, bro. It's gonna bring more chaos. But to get in these doors, I know a lot of you motherfuckers are so desperate to get in these doors, and you just want to be a star, and you just want to be famous, or you just want to have riches after riches, bro. Nah, bro, I want to be like that motherfucker. Cause you, like I said, you got some real old. I want to be like that old school that live in the country, got his land, got plenty of money buried, but he don't. That motherfucker wear overalls and shit. He got his chickens, his cows, and he stay out the way. He ain't got a lot of shiny shit. And he got plenty of ammunition just in case it's time for war. But anyway, you just don't got too many old schools like that these days. So I think the older black men of today are definitely misguiding the youth. That's why there's no leadership in nothing. These young motherfuckers are just reckless. They have no guidance. So I talk a lot about these young, they have no guidance. And a lot of you old motherfuckers doing the same shit you see these young. I cut my hair, bro. Listen, I grew my shit. I had a big fro. I cut my shit, bro, because I seen too many. The real reason why I cut my hair, I seen too many old motherfuckers with green hair. I seen too many old motherfuckers with purple hair, with these little twists and these little girly. Let me tell you something, bro. When I was in elementary and coming up in school, that's the style the girls used to wear. The only difference between these little twists y'all wear is the girls used to have a bow. Yeah, they used to clap a bow to it. But without that bow, these are we wear a lot of girly ass hairstyle. Anyway, I ain't gonna get into all that. But I had to go back to my table fade ways. It's just too many weird ass hairstyles. It looked very girlish and shit like that. And it's just too many motherfuckers with hair all down you fucking. Motherfuckers got hair to their ass and shit. I just don't know what black men or what's to become of, or what have become of us, or what's to be or not to be. But to be is the motherfucking question. But I don't know. Like I said, bro, I just wanna better myself and be greater and just learn each day, bro, and just try to build, bro, and just understand in this life, bro, the shit we value is worthless. The shit we value is worthless. Nobody values freedom. Nobody values respect. Nobody values integrity. So that shit I value and that shit I stand for. But yeah, when you talk this Canelo shit and all this shit and how these young black fighters praise him, it was Floyd that praised him first. And that's who we looked up to. That was our OG. So it was Floyd that opened this door. So Jamel praised him, but he's only doing what Floyd did. So But anyway, I see this Terence Crawford shit, and I see Terence Crawford aggressively calling out Canelo because Canelo was so excited to fight Errol Spence, but he is not excited to fight Terence Crawford. Because I think he thought, which I think Spence would have beat him, and I still think right now Spence beats Canelo. Yeah, I said it. But I think he thought he had a better chance of beating Spence. He don't think he can beat Crawford, bro. I'm very convinced of that shit. The energy is completely different. But if I was Terence Crawford, bro, quit worrying about Canelo. That motherfucker's on juice and all kind of other shit that his people will allow. One thing about Mexican fans, they don't give a fuck if you're on steroids. As long as you beat the black fighter and make our country proud and shit, bro, boxing, it ain't no love or no integrity in this shit. That's why I just come on this motherfucker. I talk shit, but I throw some black shit in it because that's what's near and dear to my heart. Yeah, I love boxing, bro, but I know it's some fake ass shit. It ain't too far from some WWE. So, or some other shit. That shit ain't too far from it, bro. A lot of these fights be paid off, bro. A lot of shit, bro. This shit still ran by the mob. So I never get so caught up in boxing that I want to be a boxing purist. Hold on, one more motherfucking thing. I'm so glad I thought of this shit. One of the other reasons why I done this video, I seen an old motherfucker. You know, when I see a older black man that's still stupid, I'm gonna start calling you motherfuckers an old motherfucker. Yeah, I saw an old motherfucker. He about in his 50s. That motherfucker made a post. I'm not gonna say your name, brother, but and I always noticed that this brother be wearing holy jeans and shit at 50. I just don't know. It's just all this young shit that he try to keep up with and shit. Anyway, that motherfucker made a post and said, top 3 head movement or some shit like that in boxing history, like the greatest head movement or some shit. That motherfucker said number 1, Pernell Whitaker. This motherfucker said number 2, Canelo Alvarez. Number 3, Ali. Canelo before Ali. I just don't get it. Listen, bro. It ain't just you young motherfuckers. It's a lot of you old motherfuckers that's really in the way. It's a lot of you old motherfuckers that are really holding back great black men. It's a lot of you old motherfuckers that are really in the way. Because a lot of you old motherfuckers are way more of an ass kisser to the white boy than these youngsters. A lot of these youngsters, they just feminine and other shit, but they don't kiss the white boy ass like that old motherfucker, like that Uncle Ruckus motherfucker. So it's just a great division between older black men and younger black men. I noticed that, and it's a huge problem, bro. But until we understand that, we in this shit, bro. We in this shit. And one thing about you old motherfuckers, that white boy gonna always X you out right after you do all this dirty work. Just like he did Nelson. But yeah, this is 903 Boxing. I'm your host, George J. With that, I'm out.